should the EM kind of area and universe be pricing in this trade deal more aggressively, especially when it comes to likes of the carry trade?
Hi, good morning, Kriti. Well, it certainly seems that markets have got a little bit of a wake-up call in the recent days. We were at the peaks for the year just last Wednesday, but since then we've embarked on our worst losing run of the year in Asian equities, and likewise Asian currencies are at a couple of months low. So it is as if that effect is suddenly starting to show up a little bit more in people's conscious and in the way that they're pricing those markets. And so therefore, that weakness is coming through. And in particular, today we've seen it with the likes of Taiwan and South Korea, which are at the bottom of the rankings, but feeding through into other countries across the region. Plus, there's still bits of uncertainty related to those nations kind of closest to China about what the feed-through tariffs are going to look like and whether that's going to be additional burden, whether, there's ways that people can work around it and so on and so forth. So a lot of uncertainty hanging over everything, but it certainly feels like all of a sudden everyone's aware that this is now coming and it's unavoidable and it's going to have a bigger impact in the second half of the year.
Paul, the U.S. dollar is on a 7-day winning streak. Whether that's related to tariffs or not is still a question. But do you think that this streak for the dollar can continue? I think NFP will probably be the kicker of where to next. What's your thoughts there?
Certainly, payrolls is going to be very instructive for today. But I think longer run, we've had this narrative all year long about the idea that there's too much overseas money in U.S. assets, in U.S. stocks and in U.S. bonds relative to the opportunities all around the rest of the world. And I still think that stands true. And I still think that longer term trend for the dollar weaker is going to reassert itself at some point. It doesn't mean necessarily next month. Doesn't necessarily mean in the coming quarters. But at some point, we're going to continue to feel that drip lower. And I think the one thing that will be quite a strong determinant of that will be what the Fed does. At some point, the Fed is going to start cutting interest rates again, whether it's with Powell in charge or whether it's with somebody else. And that again will be another drag on the dollar and allow a further easing.
Paul, is Valerie right to be excited about payrolls today?
I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. We've known that it's going to be a busy week. If Valerie's still got the energy to be excited about that after everything we've been through over the last 5 days, then well done her. I think that of all the things, that's not really the factor that I would pay most attention to when we've had all of these earnings. And actually, I think what was really interesting yesterday was the way that the market traded, despite the positive earnings that we have from Microsoft and Meta. Even Alphabet after the close, we still got the Nasdaq ending lower, and we still got futures lower again today. So there is that sort of rumble in the background. Questions starting to be asked. Have we seen the peak for the year? Is that it as far as the tech rally is concerned? So yes, payrolls will be instructive and we'll see what we get next week.